I would note for the record, Mr. Tubbs is standing, yelling, and giving me the finger. Good morning, what is your name?
Mikhail Tubbs.
And tell me your full and complete name for the record.
Mikhail O'Neill Tubbs.
All right, and Mr. Tubbs, you met with the public defender, correct?
Yes.
Well, you are here today on a new complaint. It includes a felony charge. So you have the following rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. All right, Ms. Pate is going to assist you today from the public defender's office, and I've signed an order referring you to the local appointing authority. Ms. Pate, would you like the court to read the complaint in this matter? Or do you waive formal reading?
We asked for the complaint for formal reading at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tubbs, I'm going to go through the details of the complaint with you at this time. It is a 3-count complaint. Count 1 alleges that you did make an assault upon Brandon Morris with the intent to do great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. That is a felony with a maximum penalty 10 years in prison or $5,000. Count 2 alleges that you did assault LaShawn Rolex Bell, a resident or former resident of your household, and or an individual with whom you've had a dating relationship without a weapon, and that you did inflict serious or aggravated injury upon her, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than murder. Count 2 is commonly known as aggravated domestic violence. That is a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty 1 year in jail and or $1,000. It's a second offense, so that's actually gonna, that penalty should go up. Should that penalty be going up actually for the second offense, Ms. Tink?
It should, yes. It should be a 2 year, I believe.
I think it's 2 years, $5,000 is what that actual max penalty is because it's a second offense. Ms. Tink, can you check that?
No.
Hold on, Mr. Tubbs. Hold on, just hold on. Ms. Tink, can you check that and we'll get that corrected before we end this hearing? So that's
Absolutely.
The second charge. Count 3 alleges that you did willfully and maliciously destroy or injure a cell phone, personal property of Tracy Rolex. The amount or destruction of that injury is $200 or more, but less than $1,000. That's a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty 1 year in jail and or $2,000 or 3 times the amount of destruction or injury, whichever is greater. Those are the charges and the maximum penalties. Mr. Tubbs, I'm not asking if you agree or disagree, but do you understand 3 charges against you?
Yeah, can I say what I do understand? And my lawyer would help. What happened with what you just told me? Ms. Public Defender, you said now there's a third name in there. You see how things switch?
Mr. Tubbs, the complaint was amended after we met.
Huh?
Mr. Tubbs, the complaint was changed slightly after we met, which is why I requested.
It seems to be a lot of changes in here. It's a lot of new people.
Okay, so these are the allegations against you. The first charge is that you did commit an assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation against Brandon Morris. The second charge is that you committed an aggravated domestic violence against LaShawn Rolex Bell. And the third charge is that you had a malicious destruction of personal property of a phone owned by Tracy Rolex. So 3 people. So those are the charges against you. So do you understand each of those charges? Now, do you agree or disagree? Or do you understand?
I understand.
All right, and you understand the maximum penalties for those charges?
No.
You don't understand the maximum penalties?
Man, I'm hearing them, but they false allegations.
Well, that's a separate issue. That's why I said to you, I'm not asking if you agree or disagree. Do you understand what you've been charged with and you understand?
And I'm trying to understand, but it seems like every time I talk to someone, it just keeps changing up. I want to see what's next. What's going on? What am I facing?
So I just told you what you're facing. 3 charges: assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or strangulation, with
Felony, that's a
maximum,
felony, right?
that's a felony, 10
Okay.
years or $5,000. Aggravated domestic violence, that's a second offense. What's the max on that, Ms. Tink?
I apologize, and I apologize that it was charged wrong. For an aggravated domestic violence second offense, it is a 5-year maximum sentence and a $5,000 fine.
Okay.
Uh,
And does that make it a felony?
Yes,
All right, so 2 felony charges. Ms. Tink, you'll submit an amended complaint for that?
absolutely.
So,
Yes.
all right, because it's a second offense, that makes it a felony. So 5 years, $5,000, and count 3 is a misdemeanor, 1 year and or $2,000. So those are the charges. Those are the maximum penalties. Counsel's indicated you're going to stand mute, so I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
but
Yeah.
ma'am, can I say how I got here?
But sir,
Huh?
we do this in a particular order. This is not the first time you've been in court. This is not the first time you've been arraigned on a felony. So you know how the system works. I'm gonna go through what I have to do in our normal course. And then if you have questions at the end, I'm happy to answer those questions.
Yeah, I'm
We go
just
through
so
the
much
same-
confused, and I'm pretty sure my public defender know why I'm confused, because I told her how much this stuff changed. They throw in names, and now I'm hearing this. It's like a whole bunch of changes, and I'm sitting in jail off hearsay. Is this?
So again, today is not the day that we decide guilt or innocence. Today is your first appearance. So
I
you're
hear you.
advised of. Okay, so then let me do my job, okay? I'll let you ask your questions at the end, but I'm gonna continue to do my job. So Ms. Pate has indicated you'll stand mute, so I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm gonna schedule you for your next court date. That's a probable cause conference in front of Judge Simpson. That's gonna be January 11th at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as your case can be called. And that's at 14A1 District Court in person. It's not by Zoom
And you said
anymore.
when is that?
January 11th at 9 a.m. We're gonna get you a notice to here, and then you'll receive additional information from the Public Defender's Office. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I will hear from counsel, the people first, and then the public defender. I did hear testimony regarding what allegedly took place on the day in question earlier today. I do have a check on your criminal history. I also have a written request from law enforcement in the prosecutor's office. And additionally, I have a risk assessment that was done by Community Corrections. All of that information goes into my evaluation, and I'll go over your conditions with you in just a moment. Ms. Tink, would the people like to be heard?
Yes, thank you. In this case, Mr. Tubbs has an extensive domestic violence history, in particular with the same victim in this case. We would be asking for a $500,000 surety bond. These are very serious charges. The victim suffered very serious injuries. In the event that Mr. Tubbs is released, we would ask for a GPS tether with a no-go to 2 and a 125 in Ypsilanti. We would also ask for no contact with LaShawn Rolex Bell and Brandon Morris. And that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Pate?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we do largely ask the court to follow the people's request. However, I do ask for the court's consideration in adding a 10% privilege to the cash surety component of bond. First,
Ma'am, can I say,
Mr.
I
Tubbs,
thought you were,
Tubbs,
can I get a breakout room with my attorney?
You already had a breakout room with Ms. Pate.
Yeah, but we never discuss nothing like that. I don't even, can I get like 5 minutes before we get to that? First of all, I'm on disability.
Stop talking,
You know,
stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. I'm gonna remind you of this again. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Now,
This is a
what am I
court.
saying that'll be
Stop.
used against me in a court of law?
Stop. I'm not gonna have you keep interrupting me. This is a courtroom. You have to use respect when you talk to the court, and you're not gonna keep interrupting people. I will put you into a breakout room and you can speak with Ms. Pate. But I will tell you this, when you come out of that breakout room, if you interrupt me again, you will be muted. If you try to interrupt again, then you're gonna wait until you can participate appropriately, and we'll see you tomorrow. Can you put them into your breakout room, please? Thank you, Ms. Pate.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Where's the breakout room? How I get into it? Is this it? Right?
Stand up and go to the door, and a jail staff member can come in and let you into the breakout room.
Fuck. What shit that I'm talking about, man? I need to get into this breakout room real quick.
Yep. Hey.
Is he done participating? Is that what happened?
Your Honor, to be frank, that does not surprise me, but I was under the impression he would be still participating with the hearing, but it does not shock me if he would be declining to continue to participate.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Is
Ms.
he
Locklear,
done?
Ms. Locklear says she'd like to go to court now, and earlier she said no.
Yeah. Okay, but what happened to Mr. Tubbs?
He left.
We were.
He got up and walked out of
Okay.
the room.
Okay, well, we didn't finish with him. Today's a mystery.
Okay, let me
If
see what's
he's,
going on.
if he's,
Okay,
okay,
I'll go talk to him and see what's going on.
okay.
You're not done, Tubbs.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry for the interruptions.
No, it's fine. If he doesn't want to participate, that's fine. We didn't. I mean, I can just do his bond conditions without him in the room.
Your
We
Honor,
can try again tomorrow. Oh,
Did he flip this chair?
he
I
probably
didn't
did.
see.
Okay.
So at the jail,
Huh?
What's going on?
They got me fucked up, man. I ain't got time for no bullshit. They had me fucked up. Man, I don't care about none of that. But hey, listen, let's make my stuff. Put the bond as whatever to push it, that you put it at. Push my shit for my my probable cause, and I see y'all at prelim. I got nothing else to say to you. Thank you. You heard me? I'm on mute.
I heard you. I heard
Oh,
you.
okay. Quickest prelim I could, so I can face my accusers and show y'all these false allegations. This is the 4th time y'all switched up on me. This is the 4th time. It went from armed robbery. Tracy Rolex was just a victim that I committed assault on. Where's my lawyer at? She didn't tell you that. Same one who told me that. But now it's just like so much bullshit. And then what?
Mr. Tubbs?
Huh?
Mr. Tubbs?
What
Please,
did you
please
tell me? What did
Mr.
you tell
Tubbs?
me? Who is my victim?
Mr. Tubbs, if you're gonna Mr. Tubbs, if you're gonna participate, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna stop swearing. If you're not gonna
Right.
participate
Y'all got
in
me
those
fucked
rules, then
up.
you should go. What'd you say?
Well, you asked me what I said?
Yeah,
Cause
I didn't hear you.
repeat
You were
it.
talking.
Look,
So sit down,
my First Amendment, I repeat it. You asked me what?
sit down.
Oh,
Ms. Pate, was there anything else you'd like to say regarding bond?
Miss Kate, would you tell her?
briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Tubbs, please stop interrupting the court.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And after this,
Briefly, Your Honor.
dispose of
Mr.
yourself.
Tubbs, Mr. Tubbs, I'm just gonna mute you for now so I can hear Ms. Pate.
Thank you, Your
All right,
Honor.
the record
Thank
has been muted. Go ahead, Ms. Pate.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry for the interruption and thank you for the brief breakout room. Mr. Tubbs would like me to tell the court that he is not a flight risk, and he has been a county resident his whole life, and he does have the support of his mother. And he also would like the court to know that he has been trying to engage with CMH or has interest in doing so. And other than that, I do respectfully request the court to follow the people's request with the possible court's consideration of a 10% privilege. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will do a referral to the internal CMH people at the jail to see if we can't get that moving along. We'll take care of that by email today. So hopefully someone can come and see Mr. Tubbs if that's what Mr. Tubbs wants. As far as bond conditions are concerned, I will unmute you, Mr. Tubbs, because I want to make sure you understand each of your bond conditions. But if you interrupt me again, then I will mute you again. Oh, the jail's gonna have to unmute you. You're gonna have to get a jail staff member. But remember, if you interrupt me again, it's my turn to talk. You're gonna listen to me, and then once I'm done, I'll ask if you have any questions. I'm talking. Having reviewed the information presented to the court, that being testimony earlier today from Brian Ward of the Sheriff's Department, having listened to bond arguments by both the people and by the public defender, the comments certainly made by Mr. Tubbs have been taken into my consideration as well. I've had a chance to review the criminal history for Mr. Tubbs, as well as the written request from law enforcement and the prosecutor and the risk assessment done by community corrections. I'm going to set the following bond conditions. These are not in the order of importance. They're just in the order listed on the form I'm going to read from. Mr. Tubbs, you're going to get a copy of this when we are done.
If I'm able to pay my bond, what would my bond be?
I haven't told you yet. I'm still going through your bond conditions.
Can I, before we do those, that's crazy, because my lawyer didn't get these from me. But for one, I'm not a flight with risk. For two, I have no income. I get SSI, and I can't pay SSI through anything else through the state. So that just leaves me to sit here off hearsay. Second of all, what's wrong with putting me on a GPS tether and not only that, a GPS tether where I can stay somewhere and make it easier than me being locked up, not having nothing and I can't do anything here. And then only for these things to be thrown out when the preliminary exam come through. I can tell that by the way the stories change. My lawyer even told me a different story, and it's funny how she just sit there like, what?
I'm not, Mr. Tubbs, I'm not going to have you attack Ms. Pate.
I'm not, but I'm just saying.
If you stop for a second, I'll explain to you why, in using your phrase, the story has changed. Whatever happened, right? There are allegations of what specifically happened. The police made a report. The police passed that report on to the prosecutor's office. There's a lot of moving parts in this report. The prosecutor's office typed up a complaint. Somehow the wrong name got put in that complaint. So it was a typographical error. That's what happened. So when you spoke with Ms. Pate, she was looking at the original version of the complaint. And that original version had a different victim in the second paragraph. As soon as I saw the paperwork and I heard the testimony, I realized there was a typo. So I contacted Ms. Tink and had Ms. Tink fix that. So there's no confusion about who was injured in this circumstance. That's not Ms. Pate's fault that somebody put the wrong name in on a document. That has nothing to do with whether it happened or it didn't happen. So you're not going to attack Ms. Pate. She's doing her best.
Attacking nobody. I'm not attacking nobody.
She does a fine job. Well, you're picking on her. I'm not going to have you besmirch her. She's a great attorney.
What are you talking about? I'm just saying she know what I was aware of, and she's just mute. Like I'm not attacking nobody.
Because it's irrelevant, because it's already been fixed. There was an error.
But I wasn't
That error
aware of
has
that.
been fixed.
I
You
wasn't
are
aware of
it
that.
because
Now
I
I
made
am.
you aware. Okay, so now we're all on the same page. So your three arguments to me are, you're not a flight risk, you have no income, so it doesn't help anybody to have you sitting in jail when you only have SSI, so I shouldn't give you a large cash bond, and instead of sitting in jail, you'd like a GPS tether and some kind of home confinement, right? That's what you're saying?
I mean, like, I can't eat in here. I can't do
Okay.
anything in here. I
Okay,
can't
so you
receive
can-
help. I told my lawyer that I was trying to receive help, and that's exactly what I'm doing out there. These
Okay,
are
and so
no
that's
false
right. So if you listen to me, I am trying to help you. That's why I said I will do a referral for you to community mental health. So if you can try to keep yourself quiet when I'm talking, then you won't miss these important things of what we're trying to do, so you can do what you need to do. So in response to the various arguments that you've made, you are going to get a GPS tether. Now, I don't have an address for you of where you're gonna stay. So I can't lock you into that address to do home confinement. If you agree, if you're able to post your bond, if you agree to home confinement at your mom's, I'm happy to do that. But you
What
haven't
is the
given us
bond that I would be able to post?
Okay, but if you are
What
able to
would be
post
the
your bond,
bond?
I haven't gotten there yet.
I don't have
So if
any, I don't have a red cent for a bond. I don't have nobody there to pay a bond. So that just shows that that's impossible. I don't have
Okay, so,
anyone.
okay, so now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna mute you just so you can let me talk. So the purpose of bond is really twofold. It's to ensure that people come back to court, and it's to ensure that the community is safe. That includes all the people identified as victims in this case. And you have indicated you don't have any money other than Social Security, so you can't post a bond. I will tell you, in factoring in what to do, I'm not concerned with your financial circumstances in this case. To me, it is your financial circumstances are greatly outweighed by the significant crimes that are alleged to have occurred. I understand you're telling me those crimes don't matter because these people aren't going to come to prelim, but for the meantime, these charges stand. You still have a criminal history, even with cases that where people have not come to prelims, you still have a criminal history, and it's not a gentle, quiet criminal history. You've indicated that you are not a flight risk, but in your criminal history, I can see that your criminal history includes a conviction for tampering with an electronic monitoring device out of 14A1. So that demonstrates to me that you are in fact a flight risk. So with that information, I am not going to release you on your own personal recognizance. The only way you would be released, you're muted. So it might make more sense for you to listen to me, but that's your choice. So again, that GPS tether would be placed. If we can get a good address for home confinement, that's fine. I would note for the record, Mr. Tubbs is standing, yelling, and giving me the finger. I'm gonna set a cash bond, $500,000 cash or surety, no 10% privilege. We'll get his paperwork over to him. And if we can get an address for his mom, he can do home confinement at her place if he's able to post a bond. Anything further, Ms. Pate?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Anything further, Ms. Tank?
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Tubbs, I'll unmute you if you have any questions, but the second you swear or yell at me, you're done. Sit down, sit down, sit down. All right, so the jail staff can unmute you, but the second there's a swear word or you yell at me, it's done. So at the jail, you can unmute him.
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Tubbs, I will, if you have
Hey man, just give
questions.
me my bond. What's my bond? Tell me what my bond is so I can get the fuck out your face.
So Mr.
I
Tubbs,
don't give a
see, that's the unfortunate part of this. If you stopped screaming and running around and swearing and giving me the finger, you would have heard I already gave you your bond. So
All
we're gonna
right,
mute
man,
you.
I'm waiting on you.
Take
You
any
just talking
questions.
about nothing.
$500,000 cash or surety, no 10% privilege. We're done with him. He can go back to wherever he came from.